All right, this is going to be video 1 for your Unit 5, not 6, test study guide that we will take on Friday. So we're going to do topic 1 and topic 2 in this video, and then we'll pick up with the next topics in the second video. So let's get started. This first question says, the ratio of the measures of the angles in a triangle is 8:3:4. Find the measures of the angle. Now, you remember that when we see those words angles in a triangle, we know that that means that all of the angles have to add up to equal 180. So when we have this type of problem for angles in a triangle, we take the ratio, we put an X on each one of them and set them equal to 180. So for this, please choose which equation represents the correct equation for this problem. Hopefully you chose 8x plus 3x plus 4x equals 180 degrees. All right, now go ahead and solve that for x. All right, in order to solve this for x, you combine all of the like terms. So that's 8x plus 3x, which is 11x, and 11x plus 4x gives you 15x. So 15x equals 180 degrees. Divide by 15. So you do 180 divided by 15, and 180 divided by 15 is 12, so x equals 12. Now, we're not done with the question yet. It asked us to find the measures of the angles. Please choose the answer that shows you the correct all three of them, measures of the angles. So to find the measures of these angles, we plug that x back into all three of the angles. So the first angle is 8 times 12, which is 96 degrees. The second angle is 3 times 12, which is 36 degrees. And the last angle is 4 times 12, which is 48 degrees. So hopefully you chose those 3 answer choices. All right, let's do it again. Number 2. Now, number 2 says the ratio of the measures of the sides of a triangle, is 9:12:5. The sides of a triangle. Now, when you see the sides of a triangle, you also know that you need to see the perimeter of the triangle. And they did give us the perimeter. The perimeter is 130 feet. So that means that we need to put an X on all of these and set it equal to the perimeter. So please choose the correct equation for this problem. Hopefully you chose the equation that is 9x plus 12x plus 5x, and we set that equal to the perimeter, which is 130. All right, go ahead and solve that for x. We solve that for x by combining our like terms. So we have 9 plus 12 is 21x, and 21x plus 5x is 26x. So we have 26x equals 130. Divide by 26. And 130 divided by 26 is 5. So x equals 5. Now, we're not done yet because it asked us to find the measures of the sides. So please choose the answer that shows all 3 sides of the triangle. All right, in order to find the sides, you plug in 5 into each one of these sides. So 9 times 5 is 45. 12 times 5 is 60. And 5 times 5 is 25. So hopefully you chose the answer that had those 3 sides. All right, the next question here asks you to find the scale factor from figure A to figure B. Now pay attention to which figure comes first, because that is the number that goes on the top of your fraction or is the number that goes first in your ratio. So I always choose to take the numbers, either the whole numbers. I don't like dealing with those decimals down there. So the side 36 is my side in A, 36 over, now 36 is bigger than 25.2, so I'm looking for the bigger side in B, which is 20. So 36 over 20. Now, these ratios simplify. They should be in simplest terms. Both of these are divisible by 4, so my ratio is 9 over 5, or 9 to 5. So hopefully you chose that answer for this ratio. All right, let's do it again in number 4. Number 4 asks you to find the scale factor from figure B to figure A. So this time, figure B goes first. Please choose the correct ratio for figure B. All right, so I'm going to choose the smallest sides on each one of these. It doesn't matter which sides you chose, just as long as you choose corresponding sides. I always either go with the biggest side or the smallest side, so I'm going to go with the smallest side. The smallest side of B is 9, which corresponds to the smallest side in A is 12. So 9 to 12 is the ratio from B to A, which simplifies to 3 over 4, or 3 to 4, and hopefully you chose that answer choice. All right, in number 5, we're going to start setting up those ratios that we know. So remember, you have to look at the names of the triangles to figure out which sides match to each other. So I'm going to take a look at this triangle, and I'm going to do 25 over, now 25 is KL, and KL is the first 2 letters in the name. So KL corresponds to VW. So 25 over VW, which is 20, equals 4x minus 23, which is KJ. And you notice that KJ is the last 2 letters, or the first letter and the last letter, is going to correspond to VU, which is 2x plus 2. So that's our ratio. Go ahead and solve that for x. All right, when you're solving that for x, you have to cross multiply. So 25 times 2x plus 2 equals 20 times 4x minus 23. And then we distribute. 25 times 2x makes 50x, plus 25 times 2 makes 50, equals 20 times 4x is 80x, minus 20 times 23 is 460. I always choose to move my smaller x first, so I'm going to subtract 50x. All right, those are going to go away. My 50 is going to come down. I'm going to write that over here so I have more room. So 50 is left over, equals 80 minus 50x is 30x. And then my minus 460 comes down as well. Then I add 460 to both sides. And 50 plus 460 is 510. 30x comes down, and those cancel out. Divide by 30. And we get that x is equal to 17. So hopefully you found 17 for x. All right, let's do it again. Number 6. All right, so I'm going to choose 28 first. So 28 is side ML, and I can see in the names of the triangles that ML corresponds to RL, which is 24. So 28 over 24 equals 3x minus 1 over x plus 7. Go ahead and solve that for x. So when I solve that for x, I multiply 28 times x plus 7 equals 24 times 3x minus 1. I distribute. 28 times x is 28x plus 28 times 7, 196, equals 24 times 3 is 72x minus 24 times 1 is 24. Again, I always choose to move my smaller x, so I'm going to subtract 28x from both sides. I'm going to write that up here so I have more room. Those go away. My 196 comes down, equals 72 minus 28x is 44. So that's 44x. And my minus 24 comes down. So then I add 24 to both sides. Those go away. And 196 plus 24 is 220 equals 44x. Divide by 44. And you get x is equal to 5. So hopefully you put that x is equal to 5 for this problem. All right, that's done with 29. Let's take a look at page 30. We're going to do 7, 8, and 9 in this video before we stop, and then we'll go on to video number 2. So we're going to do number 7 next. All right, picking up with page 30, number 7. Again, now we're finding KL. Now, notice here that we're not asked to find X. We're asked to find KL, which KL is right here, this 6X 0.3 line. That means that we have to go through and find X first and then plug it back in. So go ahead, set up your ratio, and solve this problem for X. All right, so hopefully when you were setting up your ratio, you saw that DE, which is 10, corresponds to JK, which is 25, equals EF, which is x plus 11, over KL, which is 6x plus 3. All right, then we cross multiplied, and we got 10 times 6x plus 3 equals 25 times x plus 11. Distribute, and you get 60x plus 30 equals 25x plus 25 times 11, 275. Again, I always move my smaller x, so I'll subtract 25x from both sides. 60 minus 25 is 35x. My plus 30 comes down, equals my 25x's cancel, and my 275 comes down. Subtract 30 from both sides. My 35x comes down. I'm going to write that up here because I have more room. 35x, those 30s cancel, and 275 minus 30 is 245. Divide by 35, and 245 divided by 35 is 7. So x equals 7. Now, we're not done. It asks us to find KL, so we're going to plug that x back in for KL. So to find KL, we do 6 times 7 plus 3, which is 42 plus 3. So hopefully you put that KL is equal to 45. All right, let's do it again. In number 8, again, we're finding SR. Now pay close attention here for SR. That means that we have to find x first and plug in for x into 2x minus 1. So go ahead and solve for x. What is the value of x? Okay, hopefully you saw that PR, which is 60, corresponds to TR, which is 4x minus 26, equals RQ, which is 38, over SR, which is 2x minus 1. Cross multiply, so we have 60 times 2x minus 1 equals 38 times 4x minus 26. Distribute, 60 times 2 is 120x minus 60 times 1 is 60 equals 38 times 4 is 152x minus 38 times 26 is 988. And that was distributing that 38 there. All right. I always move my smaller x, so I'm going to move my 120x by subtraction. So I subtract 120x from both sides. My negative 60 comes down. 152 minus 120 is 32x. And my minus 988 comes down. Then I'm going to move my 988 by addition. So I add 988 to both sides. I'm going to write that up here so I have more room. So negative 60 plus positive 988 is equal to 928, positive 928. Those cancel. My 32x comes down, so 928 equals 32x. 928 divided by 32. And x equals 29. Now we're not done yet. We still have to find SR. So to find SR, you plug in x to 2x, so 2 times 29 minus 1. 29 times 2 is 58, and 58 minus 1, 58 minus 1 is 57. So hopefully you chose that SR is equal to 57. All right, very last one for this video is number 9, and this is the perimeter problem that gave you guys a headache yesterday. So let's take a close look at this one. Now, it says that the ratio from CDE to WXY is 4:3. So this triangle here to this triangle here is 4/3. And that is equal, and it wants to find the perimeter here. So ratio is equal to perimeter over perimeter. So the first thing we need to do is find the perimeter of CDE. So to find the perimeter here, we add together 13 plus 29 plus 22. And that is 64. So the perimeter of CDE is 64 over the perimeter here is what we're looking for, so we're going to make that x. So you found the perimeter of this triangle, and you're looking for the perimeter of this triangle. Cross multiply, 4 times x is 4x, equals 64 times 3, not plus 3, Sarah, 64 times 3, is 192. And divide both of those sides by 4. And 192 divided by 4 is 48. So the perimeter of triangle WXY is 48. All right, that is the end of the first video. We will pick back up with the second video in just a second.